Okay, today we are going to discuss about the biodiversity conservation. What is the meaning of biodiversity conservation? We have to do management of biodiversity. That means what? Protection. Nothing but we can call management and protection of biodiversity. Biodiversity conservation means what? Management and protection. Protection of biodiversity. Protection of biodiversity we can call, especially for biodiversity conservation we can call. Generally, how to give the protection? So generally the government, national government and governments, they're giving the protection in two ways, two processes, two methods they are using to giving the protection to the biodiversity. What are that methods? That methods are biodiversity conservation methods are two types. One is in situ conservation, in situ conservation, and second one is ex situ conservation. Second one is what? Ex situ conservation. Ex situ conservation. What is the meaning of in situ conservation? In situ conservation means what? Giving the protection in their natural habitats. So, giving the protection to their natural habitats only. Protection given by their natural habitats only. So that is we can call in situ, inside their habitat, inside their natural habitat. That is we can call in situ conservation. What is ex situ conservation? Ex situ means what? Whatever the man-made habitats are also man-made conservation, man-made habitat protection given by man-made habitats, in man-made habitats. That is we can call especially for ex situ conservation, protection and preservation. What is the meaning of protection and preservation? Protection and preservation. Preservation means what is the meaning of preservation? Storage. Protection and preservation or storage of what? Especially for genetic variation. That is we can call especially for ex situ conservation. Ex means outside. Outside means what? Which are the artificial habitats, which are man-made habitat, giving the protection to the biodiversity. That is the plants and animals, their products, and also their seeds protected in outside in man-made things. That is we can call ex situ conservation. So okay, biodiversity conservation they are giving the protection in two ways. That is the way. First way is what? In situ conservation. Second one is ex situ conservation. The first one, in situ conservation. What is the meaning of in situ? In situ conservation is nothing but on site conservation. Is also called on-site conservation. On-site means what? Particularly their habitat. That is the meaning you can call on-site conservation. On means particularly in that region we will be the protection. That is we can call on-site protection conservation. So management and protection we can call biodiversity conservation. Now, what are the various types of what, especially in situ or on-site conservation? One is biodiversity hotspots. Biodiversity hotspots. Biodiversity hotspots. The word here the given hotspots. Hotspots means what? It is not having what more heat. Why? Because the name given hotspot. What is biological? Okay, biodiversity hotspot. A biodiversity hotspot is a biological regions. These are the biological regions. Biological regions. Biological regions with significant levels of with significant significant levels of biodiversity. Levels of biodiversity. What is the meaning of significant levels of biodiversity? Significant is what? High reach of what? High reach of plants and animals. Reach of plants and animals. Plants and plant species and animal species are we will observe in this region. So biodiversity hotspots are the that is the large biological biogeographical areas. In this we will observe high level of bio richness, especially for species richness. We will observe many millions of organisms, animals and plants are we will observe in biodiversity hotspot. Why we are called biodiversity hotspot? Why we are called biodiversity hotspot? Most of the biodiversity, up to 20% of biodiversity hotspot are threatened by human beings. Threatened by human beings. Threatened by human beings. So, okay, why we are called biodiversity hotspot? Okay, up to now discovered 39 biodiversities. Total worldwide number of biodiversities up to discovered biodiversities, new updated 39 biodiversities is there. Total 39 biodiversity. In the 39 biodiversity, up to 25 biodiversity hotspots were identified. In that only 25 biodiversity hotspots are identified. Hotspots are identified. 25 only identified, but actually now if they observe what totally 39 biodiversities is there. In 39 biodiversity hotspot, the by the meaning given, that is the largest biogeographical areas which is high richness of plants and animals. These 2 points you have to remember. And third point, hotspot. Hotspot means what? Highly threatened by human activities. So it is called hotspot. Threatened by human activities, human beings, especially for maybe grazing, cultivation, deforestation, whatever is the loss of biodiversity hotspot, the reason of what human beings. The reason of human beings. So it is called a biodiversity hotspot. What about biodiversity? Total biodiversity hotspot 39 in India. In India, mainly okay, Western Ghats. You know, in our Maharashtra and Karnataka, these places are belongs to Western Ghats. Okay, Western Ghats is also Western Ghats. One is a Western Ghats and Sri Lanka, and not only that one, Indo-Burma, and Himalayan regions. These regions we can call, especially in India, we will observe these type of biodiversity hotspot. Actually, biodiversity hotspots, especially mostly high levels of richness of what biodiversity, richness of organisms we will observe in this biodiversity hotspot, but highly threatened. The word, okay, compulsory you have to use the word, okay, richness of organisms and also highly threatened biogeographical area, that is we can call biodiversity hotspots. Okay, in India, Western Ghats and Sri Lanka and Indo-Burma and Eastern Himalaya, these regions. Okay, Eastern Himalaya or Himalaya, whatever is the Eastern Himalaya, we can call especially for these are the biodiversity hotspots in India. So next one, national parks. Generally, national parks are the national parks are protected by what? National governments. National governments, especially for protected by national governments. So there are giving what conservation, who conserve these areas, national parks. The national parks are conserved by what? The maintained areas. Total in India. In India, 19 national parks. 90 national parks. These 19 national parks are managed or conserved by what? National governments. Okay, so here in these national park, the government maintain areas, that is we can call national parks, forest, whatever forest. In India, total what 19 national parks is there reserved for the betterment of wildlife, where the activities such as cultivation, grazing, forestry, forest and also habitat manipulation are not allowed. Any human activities are not allowed in this region. Human activities like grazing, human activities are not allowed in this region, not allowed in this national parks. What grazing, cultivations, especially anything is not allowed in this spot. It is maintained by government, so that is we can call national parks. In especially example, the first national park to be established in India was in 1936. First national parks, first national park in India. In India, the name is, remember the name we can call especially for Highlands National Parks. Highlands National Park. National Park. Okay. First national park, which is the government giving protection to the forest. That is the national park we can call. First national park, okay, which is the government taken in 1936. In the year of what? 1936. That is the name is what? Highlands National Park. Highlands National Park. Okay, that is the example. That means here the national park only what you have to remember, government taking preserve, government what manage that national parks, that forestry. In there is not allowed any human activities. That is we can call national forest. Total in India 90 national parks is there. First national park in 1936, that is the taken highest national park. After national park, next one sanctuaries. What we call this next one is what? Sanctuaries. So, okay, single conservation land we discuss. Okay, second one is I will write here. Second one, sanctuaries. Sanctuaries. That is the what is the meaning of sanctuaries? Means what? Protected areas. There are tracts of land with there are tracts of land. Tracts of land. What is the meaning of tracts? Means what? Area of land with or without lake. With or without lake. Without lake. With or without lake. So with or without lake, where animals and plants can be refused without being hunted. Where plants and animals, wild plants and animals, wild plants and animals, wild plants and animals, protected. Refuse means what? Protected without hunting, without hunting. So, okay, without hunting and deforestation. Without hunting and deforestation, especially for there are protecting areas. Sanctuaries means what? The protected area. In that area, maybe lake is there, maybe without lake is also protected by government. And one more thing here, the protected, they are not giving the permission, prohibited hunting, and also they are giving the permission for human activities. Little bit, they are giving the permission of human activities like collection of forest products, forest products. Okay, they are giving the permission in this sanctuaries what? Collection of forest products, harvesting of timber, harvesting of timber. They allow the private contractors in this area, private ownership land and tilling of land, tilling of land allow in this area. That means some activities, human activities are allowed in this area. Bird sanctuaries, especially they are giving protection in particular areas, small areas, especially for giving protection. But here some human activities are allowed, like what? Collection of forest products and harvesting of timber and also tilling of land is also allowed in this region. That is we can call sanctuaries. Second one. And third one, biosphere reserves. Biosphere reserve. Fourth one, yes. Yes, first. Fourth one, yes. Biosphere reserves. What is the meaning of biosphere reserve? Here, reserve means what? Storage. It what they are storing. Okay, preservating of genetic diversity, preservating of different, preservating of genetic diversity. Genetic diversity means what? Various types of plants and animals here having in biosphere reserves. In biosphere reserves, okay, especially for here biodiversity, lifestyle, and tribals also allowed. Here the not only MAB program is going on here in biosphere reserves. MAB program very important. What is the meaning of MAB program? MAB program means what? Man and biosphere. Man and biosphere. So, what is the meaning of man and biosphere? Man and biosphere program. What is the meaning of man and biosphere program? That means some type of people which are living in forest, who are living in forest, they are allowed to protection given by not only government. There are especially who are living in that forest, some type of people, chinchus, koyas, okay, tribals, especially for the tribals is also involving protection of biodiversity resource. Biodiversity resource. So that not only government and tribals, so that what? Man and biosphere. Here the man means what? Who are living in forest, who are living in that area. There are allowed for them. They are giving what? Permission, especially to collect what? Forest products. To collect what? They are not harm the forest. They are not doing hunting. Especially, they are collected the whatever small things, collecting the whatever waste materials are available in forest and forest products. They are selling forest products only. So that is we can call what MAB, especially for MAB program, Man and Biosphere program. In Man and Biosphere program, actually, biosphere reserves are three regions is there. Three region: outer region and middle region and inner region. Outer region we can call transition zone. Transition zone. Transition zone. And middle region we can call buffer zone. And inner region we can call core area. So, biosphere reserves areas are divided into three regions. In that three region, human activities and human settlement, that means what? Houses of human beings and human activities are allowed in transition zone. In buffer zone and core zone, nobody not allowed in core zone. It is a protected area. So some small collection of what forest products, everything is allowed in, especially for transitional zone. But here next to the buffer and core zone, there are not allowed any type of human activities in this zone. So anyway, it is especially biospheres are reserves are protected by government and MAP. MAP means what? Who are living in the forest, especially for tribals. Maybe tribals means koyas, chinchus in Maharashtra, who are living in forest, what we call koyas, chinchus, and SC, ST, whatever who are living in that forest, especially for that is we can call especially for that people we can call tribal people. Okay, the tribal peoples are allowed. Okay, for them having right to use, not hunting. They are not doing hunting. Just they are giving the protection. Who are living in forest, tribals especially. So they are collecting, they are living in that region only, transition region only, but they are not doing hunting. They are collect whatever waste materials of forest and also what forest products. Okay, that is what biosphere reserves. What we can call biosphere reserves. After biosphere reserves, especially the MAP program was conducting by what UNESCO. You got to remember that one also. Next one, sacred groves. Yeah, right here. Okay, next one, fifth one, and right here. Fifth one, sacred groves. Okay, what is the meaning of sacred groves? Okay, sacred groves. Sacred groves means what? The meaning of sacred means God. That is nothing but religious places. Religious what? Groves means what? Particularly small forest group of plants in that region, in that place, in that area. Group of plants is there, and that place is famous for religious accepts. Religious accept. For example, in Maharashtra, Kashi is there. Kashi. Okay, Kashi. That is what, especially in that place, what will be happen? Little bit forest, a small forest. That is the area in small forest with temple, religious place. So that is we can call sacred what groves. Fifth one is what sacred groves. That will mean what the government giving protection in that area. Even small human activities are allowed. Small human activities. Examples, if you observe it there, examples, sacred groves are found in Kasi, Jantia Hills, in Meghalaya, Aravalli Hills, in Rajasthan, Western Ghats region in Karnataka and Maharashtra, and Sarguja, Chanda, Batsar area of Madhya Pradesh. So try to understand here, protected by native people. These are sacred groves are protected by native people. You have to remember what is the meaning of sacred groves means small group of plants with what religious accepts. Religious accepts means what small temple and located in that region. The protected by native people who are living in that area. The people are protected in that area, and government also protected giving that area. That is we can call sacred groves. And after sacred groves, sixth one is what we call Ramsar sites. Ramsar sites. Which are called Ramsar sites? Ramsar sites means what? Generally, Ramsar site. Ramsar means what? The meaning of Ramsar sites means what? Wetland. In wetland. Wetland means what? That area, that whatever area is there, that is the Ramsar sites. That area is covering with what? Water. Little bit moist. That area always, in all seasons, it is covered with what? Especially water. So that is we can call Ramsar sites. So moist places. That is we can call Ramsar sites. That is the wetland areas, especially for we can call Ramsar sites. Ramsar sites in Iran in 1971 for the conservation wise use of wetlands. They are using that wetlands wise use. They are not greedy manner. They are not greedy means what at a time they are not using whatever products of what this biodiversity whatever is located in Ramsar site. In Iran started wise use of Ramsar site by wise especially for by intelligence they're using how they are using wise use. What is the meaning of wise use of wetlands? Defined as the maintenance of their ecological character and achieve the implementation of ecosystem approaches within the context of sustainable development. It means wise use of wetlands and their resources. Only what is the Iran started to use while wise use of what Ramsar site. What is the meaning of Ramsar site? Wetlands. Okay, which is covered by water. In that land, Iran in 1971, Iran water is lesser. Okay, in that resources they are using only whatever they require. That much only resources are they using. That is we can call what wise use of Ramsar sites. Okay, in India also, especially for which type of Astamudi wetland, Kerala. Okay, so that Astamudi wetland that is located in Kerala. Okay, Astamudi wetland of Kerala, and also what Sambar Lake in Rajasthan. Sambar Lake in Rajasthan. Okay, these are the example what Chilka Lake in Odisha, Chilka Lake in Odisha. Okay, these are what Ramsar sites. Okay, try to understand. The first of all, need to understand the meaning of Ramsar site. Wetland. Wetland means what? Which is covered with water. So that areas is also protected. The first they started. Who started the protection of what Ramsar site? Meant what? Iran. Okay, in 1971 they started. They are using wise use of what Ramsar sites. Only they are using some resources of Ramsar sites, some fishes and something, but they are not used that one in greedy manner. So that these are whatever we discussed. These are we can call in situ conservation. In situ conservation of biodiversity hotspot, national parks, okay, and also sanctuaries and sacred, okay, especially for sanctuaries, biosphere reserves, and sacred groves and Ramsar sites. Biodiversity hotspots, national parks, sanctuaries, biosphere reserves, sacred groves, Ramsar sites. Total how many? Six. Okay, we are discussing what these are. We can call in situ conservation. What we call in situ conservation. And after in situ conservation, what we call off-site collection, off-site ex situ conservation. What is the meaning of ex situ conservation? Already, so third we have to discuss ex situ conservation here only. Okay, ex situ conservation, generally what we call ex situ conservation, and also called off-site what conservation. Off-site. This is the on-site. This is off-site conservation. What we call off-site conservation. Off-site conservation. What is the meaning of off-site conservation? Means what? They are protecting, giving the protection to the outside the habitats, outside the natural habitats, outside the natural habitat. They are giving protection in particular area. Simple ex situ conservation. We have to discuss simple one or two. One is, for example, zoo parks, zoological parks, zoological parks. In zoological parks, especially for sometimes when you are children, sometimes visiting what different zoological parks, they brought especially for government keeping all animals in one in particular area, which are endemic species, endangered species, endemic species, rare species. What is the meaning of endemic? Only these endemic and rare species are only we are seeing in particular region only, particular places only. We are seeing that animals, that plants. For example, we know in apple, generally apple we are seeing in Jammu and Kashmir, in that area it is growing. It is not growing in our areas. So and also kangaroo is what, that is what endemic species. Whatever is there in zoological park, what we are seeing with different types of animals, they are keeping in one place. Nehru Zoological Park in Hyderabad. So many zoological parks is there. So zoological park is a man-made protective area. That is we can call ex situ conservation. And botanical gardens. Already you learned botanical gardens. Botanical gardens means what? There are growing different types of plants in that regions, especially for which are genetic variation, different plants, okay, plant productivity, increase the productivity. There are researching in that area about the productivity of plants. That is the botanical gardens. Botanical gardens also what? That is also we can call especially for okay ex situ conservation. Ex situ conservation. National Botanical Gardens also we are saying what NBRI. NBRI. So okay, these are what ex situ conservation. Not only these, okay, not only this gene banks. What is the meaning of gene bank? Gene bank means not gene banks bank. Okay, this is the bank, especially they protect what they protect. These are the places where protection and maintenance of garments. Here they are protecting what garments, male and female garments, and what male seed, whatever the seeds, various types of seeds, which are rarely available seeds, rarely genetic diversity, protection in lab, genetic diversity, whatever various types of which are rarely available things, rarely available plant, rarely available seeds, everything is what protected gene bank. Here what? It is the gene banks are the way the place where protection and maintenance of garments is done, stocking viable seeds. Here the seeds are stocking, seed banks also generally we can call seed banks also. Okay, next one seed bank. Generally in seed bank what they are doing what? Especially they are protecting seeds. For example, some seeds are which are highly productivity, which some seeds gives what high productivity. There are storage that seeds in particular places with high. They are taking lot of care in that region, like high productivity in that what this they provide all conditions, suitable condition to preserve seed banks and gene banks. So okay, especially for that is what we can call seed banks, especially they store a different type of genetic strains of commercial important plants in the form of seeds. Okay, that is we can call seed banks. Here the which are commercially which gives more productivity, that types of seeds are protecting in particular labs, that is we can call seed banks. After seed banks what? Tissue culture. Culture is also especially for tissue culture. Well, that means what? They produce the plants. Okay, tissue culture is the one type of asexual mode of reproduction. Asexual mode of vegetative propagation. Artificial vegetative propagation. In this artificial vegetative propagation, what they are doing by using tissues, by using the parts of the plant, tissues, group of cells, by using parts of the plant, they produce more plants. There are storage in tissue circle, there are storing in some places to produce what more plants. That is we can call tissue culture. Tissues are using that mean what whatever the plant parts which gives more productivity and they're collecting that plant products and plant parts and storage in some situations that some areas and also that ways that tissues are useful to produce more plants they are using. That is what so tissue culture is also one type of what ex situ conservation. And last one, cryopreservations. Cryopreservations. What is the meaning of cryopreservation? The cryopreservation meaning, the meaning of cryopreservation, generally, it is the method of in vitro conservation, in vitro conservation, in vitro conservation in liquid nitrogen. In liquid nitrogen, they are using liquid nitrogen to preserve what? To preserve male gamete and female gamete and the biological, especially for they preserve the temperature, liquid nitrogen at temperature, liquid nitrogen at temperature minus 196 degrees centigrade. Right to understand minus 135 136 degrees centigrade, especially in that temperature they are storing what they are storage, they preserve what they preserve They preserve male and female gametes, male gametes and female gametes, and genetically various types of seeds, and as for important genetic material, everything is stored in a particular area, particular place, especially in that place they preserve in temperature minus 196 degrees centigrade. They use it to preserve these type of, nowadays in women's sperms and female ovums is also storage in seed banks, what gene banks especially. They are using some method cryopreservatives. That means what nitrogen liquid they are using to preserve what these type of what, especially for whatever garments or seeds which are useful, which gives more productivity. They are using these methods to protect what ex situ conservation. So ex situ conservation, zoological parks, botanical gardens, and gene banks, seed banks, tissue culture, and also last one is what we call cryo preservatives. Also, they are using nitrogen liquid to preserve the seeds, to preserve the garments, to preserve the genetic material. They are using cryo preservatives. These are what ex situ conservation. So, okay, in situ biodiversity conservation, ex situ conservation, and in situ conservation. Okay, biodiversity conservation is the collective responsible of all nations. So, biological diversity, so that to conserve biodiversity, all countries are submitted, they grouped, they gathered in one place. That is, we can call the Earth Summit held in Rio de Janeiro in 1992. So, to preserve, to protect biodiversity, so many countries are gathered. That is called the Earth Summit. Important, the Earth Summit in the year of 1992. Okay, where there are what group that gathered means what Rio de Janeiro. Okay, so in that place there are what there are discussed about how to protect what biodiversity. So this is what protection of biodiversity management and protection of biodiversity we can call especially for biodiversity conservation.